Hey kids, Mr. Fly here, hope you're well and welcome to a brand new tour series. You join me here in Italy, in Florence to be exact, or Firenze as the locals call it, where I'm going to be riding for the next couple of days through the beautiful Tuscan countryside. I've literally just arrived here in my hotel, haven't even unpacked my bag yet, but stick around and stay tuned. I'll tell you a bit more about what's coming up in the next couple of days. So here I am in this rather swanky hotel room. I'm here with Tuscany Motorcycle Tours, and for the next couple of days I'm going to be riding a Ducati Scrambler 1100, which I'm very excited about, through the beautiful Tuscan countryside for one day, and then another day we're going to be riding up to Bologna, specifically to check out the Ducati factory and do the tour there. So that's going to be really great, so can't wait for that. Weather looks set sort of fair. I'm recording this early April, so not the peak of the hot biking season yet, but should be pretty good for riding. Should be some fantastic roads to see. I've never ridden in Italy before, so really looking forward to this. I do need to set myself up though, get my head down for an early start, and join me tomorrow where you should see me next on the bike. So stick around, stay tuned, let's enjoy Tuscany together. Okay, so roll forward today and you find me here in the middle of Florence. We're just getting the bikes ready. There's something like 8 bikes going, so it's going to be quite an art, I think, to get us out of Florence without getting lost. So let's see how that goes. So these are some of the bikes that are coming on the tour. Trusty Tiger. Used to have one of those myself. This is Adrian, the leader. He's on S1000 XR. This is my little Scrambler, the 1100. Really looking forward to trying that on a longer ride. And then lots of Ducatis. Much form filling going on. And a Beamer. Another Beamer. And an Africa Twin. So right eclectic collection. All right, let's get on the bikes, head off. So we're off. I think this is going to be the tricky bit, actually getting out of Florence without getting lost. We're actually splitting the group into 2 at this point, I'm glad to say. And we're going to meet up at the fuel station. Hopefully that'll mean it's easier for us to stay together. I'm just glad I'm on number 2 bike, so I just have to follow Adrian here ahead on the S1000 XR. Ignore the people on the crossing. Oh, it's good to be on the bike again. Amazing to be riding in Italy. The first time I've actually ever ridden a motorcycle in Italy. I've driven over here plenty of times, but never been on a bike. It's always looked a bit hairy to me. We'll find out. Line up of multistradas behind me. So we're setting off. It's a Tuesday morning and it's about 9:30. So hopefully the traffic from rush hour may be dying down, but who knows. Florence is a very busy city at the best of times. I've only been here as a tourist before, and it struck me then how busy it was. So it's going to be quite exciting. Italy, of course, is a bike city. Look at these, well, they're not mopeds, but people here just use bikes as a means of transport, much more so than they do in the UK. And as a biker, it's really nice to see that. But it does mean when you're in the city, you absolutely need eyes up your backside, because motorcycles come from everywhere, and cars for that matter. Goodness me. What's this fella doing in the red car behind me? Yeah, so Florence, what a beautiful city. If you've never had, or if you've never been here, I thoroughly recommend it. It is a beautiful place. Best to come when it's not school holidays and stuff though, because as I mentioned before, it gets super busy. Really popular tourist spot, as you can imagine. But rightly so, because it is a gorgeous place. Had a little wander around last night with Adrian and Tim behind me. Just went out and grabbed a very nice pizza and checked out some of the bridges at night. But this trip really isn't about Florence, it's about Tuscany. So hoping I'm going to get the chance to introduce you to the troops, as it were, a little bit later. On this group, on this pack, we've got Adrian, as I said, in front of me. He's the tour guide for Tuscany Motorcycle Tours. Behind me, we've got Tim, who's another Brit, and then we've got Don, who's from the US, both on multistradas, and both GS riders normally. So I'll be interested to see what they think of the multistradas. And today's mission is basically all about Ducati. We're riding up to the Ducati factory and the museum up in Bologna. We're just outside Bologna actually, in Borgo Panigale. And we're going to get a look at the production line of Ducati, which will be amazing. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to take any cameras or any photographs in there, so you'll just have to take my word for that once I've been in there. And also the Ducati Museum. And then we're doing a spot of lunch in Bologna at the Ducati Scrambler Museum, not museum, cafe, which apparently it's very good. And then this afternoon we've got some great rides on a couple of passes, I think, coming back to Florence, which is going to be the highlight of today's ride. And then tomorrow it's going to be all about the riding, where we're going to do more of Tuscany itself, potentially going to Volterra and Gimignano, and out to the coast. We may change it slightly, we'll see, but we'll cover that tomorrow. So there won't be too much city riding tomorrow, I don't think. And to get up to Ducati, we've actually got a time slot at 11, so we're just going to blat up the Autostrada basically. So I won't film too much of the riding up there, because I don't think it'll be that interesting on the motorway. Oh, white vans, excellent. Good to see them. So we just exited Florence now. I didn't worry too much about the traffic actually, it wasn't too bad at all for this time of day. And we're just joining the Autostrada that takes us up towards Bologna. This is the A1, and of course they are toll roads here, so we need to collect a ticket at this point, so this is going to be interesting. See how this works. I think the idea is just collect a ticket at this end, and at the other end when we come off we pay for it, so see how much faff this is. This is the trouble with motorcycling, isn't it? A lot of faff. Ticket. In the old skyrocket. Get the hell out. So far so good. Ah, the in the mouth technique. Okay, Bologna, here we come. So my first time on an Italian Autostrada on a motorcycle, how exciting. It's quite interesting. I was talking to Adrian yesterday about the tolls, and apparently motorcycles pay exactly the same in Italy as cars do. There was a bit of a push a couple of years ago to get it reduced to a minimal rate, but the motorcycling lobby lost that one. And so you pay the full rate. So if you are coming to Italy to ride, be aware that you're going to need to pay for some tolls if you're on the Autostrada. Luckily they accept credit cards, so hopefully it's not too much hassle when you actually come to pay. Just pop the card in and it's all sorted. So I say that like it's super easy. I've not paid for one yet, of course. We'll see in a minute. So weather-wise, the forecast today is quite nice. It's going to get up to something like 21 degrees. So I've got plenty of layers on, but I should be shedding them as the day goes on. Visibility is looking a little bit hazy up ahead. But given I'm filming this on very early April, I'm not complaining, because back at home apparently it's raining and horrible. So I'll take a little bit of mist and 21 degrees any day. So it's something like 60 kilometres between Florence and Bologna, so probably, I don't know, maybe an hour's ride, maybe a little bit under, before we get up to the Ducati factory. So should be a top day. So I might have spoke a bit soon about the traffic not being too bad. It's quite busy actually on this Autostrada, but we're making some progress now. The scenery is starting to change, a little bit more mountainous. It's just such a treat to be out on the bike again. Really nice to be back on the Scrambler 1100, which I rode for the first time last week. I rode one down at Blade in Abingdon, and I've filmed a review. I'm not quite sure whether you may have seen that review by the time you see this video, or whether it's coming soon, but I was blown away actually by how much I like the 1100 Scrambler compared to the smaller bike that I rode years ago. So when I was offered the chance to ride it here, this versus the Multistrada, I thought, yeah, I'll take the Scrambler 1100, and it should be great on the little twisty roads, or the more twisty roads coming back this afternoon when we're not on the Autostrada. But even on the Autostrada here, I have to say it's been absolutely fine. There's no fatigue with the wind blast or anything like that. Doesn't feel like you're hanging on for dear life. It's a comfortable ride. Great bike for touring on. This one's the standard bike. The one I rode before, I think, was the S that had the up and down quick shifter and the fancy Terminioni exhaust. This one's just a standard bike, but it still sounds lovely and rides really nicely. Got a bit of character about it in a good way. You know you're riding a motorbike on one of these. And the other beauty, of course, about being on a Ducati, going to the Ducati factory, is that they let you park them actually in the grounds. Whereas Adrian on his BMW will be banned, and I'll have to park his bike outside. I love that. So at this point, the A1 splits. There's the Panoramico and the Direttissima. So there's the direct route, which the trucks will take. Well, there's this route, which is actually the route of the old A1, which Adrian was telling me yesterday is much more scenic, so hence Panoramico. And as we're on bikes, we'll take the slightly more twisty route. So if you are coming up this way, then when the road splits into two, take the Panoramico, if you're not in a great hurry. Fancy looking bridge over there. Much less traffic on the Panoramico as well, which is another plus point for taking it. Vegetation around here still looking quite brown. Just come out through winter, as I say, recording this early April. In fact, today's April the 2nd. And give it another couple of months and I guess this will all green up. Lovely bit of road though, with these sweeping bends. This is the sort of motorway I like. Quite a lot of tunnels around here, I forgot about that. And of course it's got to be dark visor, so they don't work so well with the old dark visor, but never mind. Takes me back to my Norway trip last year. One thing I've noticed about this Scrambler, when you go through the tunnels, it puts the lights on for you to full beam automatically. When you come out, look, it then goes on in a minute, the little green light's back on. Daylight running mode's back on again, so it's very clever. It senses when darkness falls and puts the right lights on without you having to switch it. I like that. Oh, what a fabulous ride it's been through there. I have to say that stretch of motorway was pretty splendid. I think we're just pulling over now because a couple of the guys need some fuel. I'm alright, I'm full. But what a fabulous way to start me Tuesday morning. Technically we're now out of Tuscany and into the next region. Let's get some fuel for the chaps and join you shortly. So what a splendid day. Here we are at the fuel station. This is Tim, by the way. Say hello, Tim.
Hi there.
How you finding it so far?
Oh, fantastic.
Bike all right?
Yeah, bike's running all right.
Slightly dicky mirror, I noticed.
Yes.
You sorted that?
Yeah, we'll sort that at the factory.
Yeah, they should have the tools.
Yeah.
So Tim's on the 950. Nice. This is Don. Hi, Don. How's it going?
Good.
How's it going so far, all right?
That's right. Great.
Bike all right?
Great plan.
Yeah, nice machines, aren't they? Looks cool. Splendid. Don's a man of few words. And over here we have Adrian, who's the boss. Hey, Adrian.
Hi.
Good to see you. How's it going so far? Bike running all right?
Excuse me?
Bike running okay?
Bike running perfect.
Everything going to plan?
Good temperature, nice day. We're on time.
Oh, fantastic.
Very good.
Beautiful road through there as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looking quite brown at the moment, isn't it? I assume it's all greens up in
We
the
haven't
summer.
had so much rain this year, this winter, so it's kind
Yep.
of brown, yeah.
But in the summer, will it green up or does it stay?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
completely green.
perfect. Yeah, lovely.
Amazing.
And so little traffic here compared to the other motorway.
Yeah, this one is the best one you can have on the motorcycle. Is low traffic, some turns. It's a good
My
way
sort of
to
motorway.
race.
Yeah,
Good
brilliant.
idea.
Good stuff. Okay, so we're all fueled up and the rest of the crew have caught up with us. So we're going to be in a convoy of, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 bikes now. So Adrian's got his sweeper at the end to make sure we don't lose anyone. For the next leg of the journey. So I'm riding this tour with a company called Tuscany Motorcycle Tours, which is Adrian's company. Really lovely fella. In fact, I've ridden now with a number of these different tour companies, as you may know if you watch my channel for a while, and all the guys that run these things are very friendly chaps. I suppose it comes with the turf, and Adrian's no different. He's actually a Spanish fella, been living out here for 10 years plus now, so knows the area very well indeed, and looks after you very well. you check out the website, you can see the sorts of things they do. They do lots of day trips all around Tuscany. This one I think is called the Ducati Experience, and you can come on your own bike, or you can let Adrian take the strain and sort out a bike for you, as he has in this case. He has an arrangement with the local rental company, and they have all sorts of bikes that you can use for the day. I'm of course on the Scrambler, as I mentioned, but there are GS's, there are Autostradas, Super Sports, all sorts of bikes that you can ride the tours on. So if you fancy riding in Italy but you don't fancy riding all the way down here, but you want to fly in and then ride a bike, then do give Tuscany Motorcycle Tours a shout. Okay, so I've got a mirror full of motorcycles now, which is always good to see, and I reckon we're about halfway to Bologna now, so not too long and we should be at the Ducati factory, I think. Fabulous motorway, this. Gosh, it's cold in these tunnels. It's like somebody's turned the heating off. Oh, that'll be the hand signal for radar speed trap ahead. Don't go accelerating fast. So I shall heed that warning. Okay, so we've just come off the Autostrada as we're almost in Bologna. And this is where we do the payment bit. So this is going to be potentially interesting. Hopefully not. We'll see. Turns out I'll come at the cash only queue, so we'll just have to pay in the old fashioned way, which should be relatively straightforward, he says. Famous last words. Try not to lose me glove. Buongiorno. Grazie. Grazie. That was relatively pain-free. Certain amount of faff, of course, with motorcycling tolls, but got away with it. Right, so that wasn't too bad. We're off the Autostrada, or off the toll part of it now. And that one was €8, so given we were on it for a fair old while, I didn't think that was too bad at all. There we are, Borgo Panigale. I have a bike named after that, the Ducati Borgo. Okay, so this is Bologna, hitting the traffic again. Modena is down this way, all sorts of motorsport names in this area. This is kind of the equivalent of Northamptonshire in the UK, as far as Italy is concerned. This is where lots of the big manufacturers are: Maserati, Ferrari, Ducati, and others besides. Oh, I can see a big Ducati badge over on the right. So we're nearly there, very exciting. Wow, and there we have it. It's where my 899 was born. It's quite emotional. How cool is that? I'll come to Ducati on a Ducati. Loving it. Oh no, I can go in there actually. He has to park over there because he's on a Beamer. I'm allowed to park in here because I'm on a Ducati. Go that way? Okay, thank you.
After you go to the other side, you stick to the range, the base plan.
Perfect, thank you. Wow, plenty of Ducati parking here. Stick it in there, I guess.